Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to be swapping out our brake fluid. So before you do this, it's important to make sure you get the right brake fluid. Most vehicles will say on the master cylinder cap whether you need .3 or .4. And the reason we're doing this is because the master cylinder is supposed to be clear, and this is quite dirty. So the first thing you'll want is some gloves because brake fluid is corrosive and you don't want it on your hands. So you'll go ahead and start by taking a turkey baster like this one right here. Get some fluid. And then just put it into a water bottle. And then make sure your water bottle is dry, and I will show you why later. There we go. Like this. Put it to the side. And then the way this is set up, you're not going to be able to get all the brake fluid, which is fine. You actually don't want to get all the brake fluid because we also got to bleed the brakes, and you don't want any air whatsoever getting into your brake system. So what we are going to do at this time is add some brake fluid. Like so, just fill it all the way up. All right, so bleeding the brakes, you're going to want to put the vehicle on ramps. And then doing this, generally speaking, you're going to want to start with the wheel that's farthest away from the master cylinder and work your way back in. So in this case, passenger rear wheel first, driver rear wheel second, passenger front wheel third, and then finally the driver's side front wheel. Also, for a little added safety, I put some bricks in front of the front wheels, like so. And then just make sure your parking brake is engaged. So it's pretty much the same for all four wheels. Right here is your bleeder valve. Go ahead and remove the dust cap. Try not to crack it. Then set up your bottle with your hose, leading all the way to that bleeder valve. Then in this case, just take an open-ended 9mm wrench, loosen it up, and you can already see where brake fluid is starting to come out. And then this would be where you have a friend sit in the vehicle and pump the brakes, but I got to work by myself, so I'm going to jump in, hit the brake pedal, and then we will go back and check the brake line. All right, and then just check for air bubbles and we're good. Also, I found taking a bucket, or in this case a paint can, and putting your bottle of brake fluid up a little bit kind of helps with the air bubbles. Because what happens is the air bubbles come out of the brake line, and then when the hose is up, it kind of pushes them out a little bit, where if it's downward, it kind of pushes them back in towards the brake caliper. And that's what you don't want, air in your system. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten this up, check the brake pedal, and we can move on. Also, be sure to check the brake fluid as you work to make sure this doesn't run empty. Add more as needed. All right, so here we are on the passenger rear wheel. And then this time what I'm gonna do is pump the brake, and we'll see the brake fluid running through the hose. Be right back. All right, and then that looks pretty good. Now I'm just gonna do the 2 front wheels and call this job done. And since this vehicle has disc brakes on all 4 axles, it's pretty much the same thing. All right, so that's done. Brake pedal feels good. Now we're just gonna top this off and go on a test drive. We used almost this whole bottle, but that's fine. It's good to have fresh brake fluid. Also, here's a before and after picture of the brake fluid. All right, so I just got back from the test drive. There's a noticeable improvement. There's less squeaking. There's still a very slight squeak sometimes, but it's not as bad as it was. Also, there's less of that grit feeling. You know how when you slow down, when you have dirty brakes and you kind of get that grit feeling sometimes, there's less of that too. So what I'm probably gonna do is hit these brakes up with some brake clean, and this should be good. My shop foreman came with me. She's just sitting here enjoying the air conditioning while I do the work. Isn't that how it goes? Yes, Roxy, it's done. Sounds good, I will get right on that. Frosty Paws frozen dog treats. Because when it's hot outside, why should humans get all the good stuff? There we go, kind of cut it up like pizza. And enjoy. When she was younger, I got her this once and she let it sit out all night and eat it melted in the morning. It's like, all right, whatever floats your boat. And if you have a peanut allergy and can't touch the peanut butter flavored ones, they also have cheese flavored ice cream and bacon flavored ice cream. None of which sound good to me, but hey. See you guys next week.